friend, welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and I sell them hopefully for a profit. Today is Monday, August something, 27th maybe, 26th. I don't know. Why don't I check that? Anyway, I have 11, I think, items that have sold over the weekend. It was a 4-day weekend for me, which I'll talk about in a little bit. The first item that sold are these Columbia pants. I already lint rolled them and folded them up, so I'm not gonna open them, but these are Columbia. They are Omni Shade, and they have UPF 15, which means they, what was I saying? They provide protection from the sun. I actually have 2 pairs of these that I found at a church sale. So I have a couple things I want to talk about today. One is, I'm sorry about my fingers. I pitted a bunch of cherries last night, and so my fingers are stained, if you noticed that. If you didn't, just ignore it. If you did notice, I'm sorry. Anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is sell-through rate. So the sell-through rate for, this is how I searched it. Columbia UPF Omni Shade pants plus size, because these are a plus size. They're 16Ws, I guess. And they're women's pants. They have an average sell price of $24.40 and a 64% sell-through rate. Okay, so when I calculate sell-through rate, I do solds divided by the amount of items sold and listed. So in very simple math, if there were 100 items listed over the last 90 days on eBay, 64 would be sold and 36 would be left listed. So it's a really good sell-through rate, in my opinion. I do my calculations that way because that's how eBay does it on their product research tool, which is where I do my research for these videos. Those sold for $20 on Poshmark. I paid $2 for them at a churchyard sale. I have another pair exactly like it, also brand new with tags, that I just took one picture. I love double listings like that. So I just have a quantity of 2 on that listing. Anyway, my profit on those are $14. They did sell a little, I don't know. I feel like with that high of a sell-through rate, they should have sold a little faster, but I don't know. All right, I had a lot of black things and I went ahead and like lint rolled them first. And then so all the first few things are black. This is a Built t-shirt. It's BYLT. So one of the things I want to talk about sell-through rate is somebody in my comments over the last week said, hey, I think that you are researching too broadly. So maybe I put in like Chico's top. And to a point, I think that that person might be right. I think it just varies on the item. Sometimes for the videos, I just do very basic search terms. And I don't always know why I do it that way, but sometimes I just do it that way. Sometimes I get a little more specific. So here's an example. It's not a vast difference, but I did Built t-shirt and the average sale price was $16.36 with a 35% sell-through rate. Then I did Built Premium Basic Crew Split Hem Luxe t-shirt, which is what that was. And the average sale price was $14 with a 33% sell-through rate. So yeah, sometimes narrowing down the search by what exactly the item is, or the color, or the size. Here's a really good example. I was listing, and I used this example when I responded to the comment. I forget who it was. And sometimes when I'm responding to comments, I don't exactly know who it is that's writing, because it says like user blah blah blah, you know, like a bunch of numbers and stuff. So that's kind of frustrating to me. I wish there was a better way to do that. But anyway, when I responded, I had just listed a soft surroundings tunic, and if you just research soft surroundings tunic, it's like a 20% sell-through rate. They're selling for like $15. But the one that I had listed was toile. I don't know if you know what toile is. I don't have it sitting around here, but it's a print. It's a toile print. And it was embroidered. And when I put those search terms in, the sell-through rate was 50%, and the average sale price was higher. And then I even searched the size that I had, and there were none listed in that size. So I actually priced it at like $30. Whereas if it was another soft surroundings tank top, I probably wouldn't have done that. I forgot to tell you the rest of the built stuff. So that sold for $14 on eBay plus shipping. So they paid a total of $20. Took 2 weeks to sell. I found it at a little thrift store that is quickly becoming my favorite. That I spent 75 cents on it, and my profit is $11.79. I forgot to tell you my total gross amount for the weekend was $322.25. It was a long weekend for me because nothing sold on Thursday at all. So I didn't do a video on Friday. Friday was really good. I had like 7 items that sold, and I was real excited. I was like, this weekend's gonna be great. Saturday, I just decided to prioritize my family and not ship, and which means not doing a video. And then of course Saturday and Sunday was the weekend. So unfortunately the sales were not so great on Saturday and Sunday as they were on Friday. So it kind of ended up being a little bit disappointing for me. This is a tank top. It's really like heavyweight. It is Young LA is how I've been told that is pronounced. Not Young La, which is what I said the last time. I found 3 of these tank tops in the bins in June. There's August now. The first 2 sold within the month of listing them. I think even quicker than that. This I listed later on. I think I needed to wash it or something, but it took me longer to list it. It's only been listed for 5 weeks. This brand has a really good sell-through rate. The sales price is not great. $16.86 is the average sale price. So when I find them at the bins where I'm paying by the pound, I'm not paying very much money at all, I'm, you know, happy to pick those up, to buy those, to resell. Sorry, I can't do 2 things at once apparently. I am out of my poly mailers that I buy, and so I use recycled poly mailers when I can. And so I'm trying to I have a little container over here, and so I'm just digging for trying to find one that's an appropriate size. I just save them when I get packages. Sometimes my sister or friends will save them for me, and I'm always very happy because it saves money, and I think it does, you know, a little bit better for the environment with reduce, reuse, recycle, and all that. I'm reusing these. Yeah, so anyway, the average sale price is only on the Young LA tank tops is only $16.86, but the sell-through rate, I'll get it, is 69%. 69%, which that's fantastic, I think. Mine sold for $15.97 plus shipping, which was $22.72. I priced it at $19 basically so I could hit that $16 mark with either I send out 20% off offers, or I have a 15% off coupon that's kind of just perpetually on my store on eBay, and that's what happened. It was the 20% off offer. So they paid a total of $22.72 $72. I paid $2 is my average price at the bins, the Goodwill outlet. I think I said all that. My profit is $11.91. All right, this is kind of an interesting sale. This box is trashed, but these are insoles, and they're Red Wing original equipment footbeds Foam Tech SD. So the Foam Tech SD did not have any sell-through rate other than mine, the ones that I sold. Hold on, I'm doing it again. Okay. Apparently can't look for poly mailers and talk at the same time. I had 4 of these. I found 2 in one size and 2 in another at the Salvation Army rummage sale. So the Salvation Army, we don't have a store in our town. The church runs a rummage sale quarterly. I do not know what's happening in this. Okay. So this is actually the 3rd time that I found these Red Wing insoles at this rummage sale. They have a little sticker on them that's like a from a shoe store, like a local shoe store that's here in our town that has gone out of business. So I think maybe what happened is when they went out of business, they just like gave them a bunch of stuff. I'm not really sure. But the last, not this past one, but yeah, 3 different times I've been to the rummage sale, they've had these insoles. And so every single time I buy them, and I bought 4 at this last sale, and I have 2 left. It wasn't the most recent sale. They didn't have any. So these are not selling as fast as the other kinds have. I feel like I'm not saying it very well, but like my mom brain is kicking in and I can't multitask. Okay. Basically, they're selling. That's what I'm trying to say. Find Red Wing insoles, maybe look them up. That's all I'm saying. I never want to tell you what to do, what to buy, how to do things, but I'm just telling you this is what I have done, and it worked out well for me in this instance. This poly mailer is actually like one of those, it's like the paper bag mailers. I don't know what they're called. But it has some issues. So I'm trying to fix the issues. Okay, we're good. We're good, we're on it. Anyway, when I looked up that Foam Tech example, mine were the only ones. So 50% have sold, there's 50% listed still. When I just did Red Wing insoles, the average sale price is $26.03 and it's a 59% sell-through rate. Fantastic. I listed mine at $25, again, keeping in mind the 20% off coupon, or 15% off coupon, 20% off offers. Sold for on an offer for $19.97 plus shipping. They paid a total of $25.87. Took 4 months to sell. I paid $1 for them, and my profit is $16.72. Love it. Something like that, I am super happy about. Okay. This is actually this sold on Poshmark, so I can use priority mailing. This is a Victoria's Sport bra. There we go. Yeah, it just says Victoria's Sport. So I looked up Victoria's Secret Sport bra, which probably wasn't the right thing to do, but this is another thing where you know, if I had found the exact name of the print, if I had looked up the exact size, maybe it would have been a little different with the comp. But just overall, they have an average sale price of $15.42 and a 19% sell-through rate. So mine sold for $16 on Poshmark, which is great. I had it listed for 3 weeks on Poshmark, but it's been listed 4 months overall. I don't have a great system for cross-listing, so there's not really a rhyme or reason as to when things get cross-posted onto Poshmark. I spent $1 for it at that same thrift store that's becoming my new favorite, and my profit is $11.80. I probably should have put that in a box. I try to put bras that have like padding or especially underwire in a box, but sometimes I don't. This is a, I don't know, it's like a lightweight sweater. It's Lane Bryant, which is a plus size brand, but it has this really like kind of nice detail that it's kind of see-through and sheer. So this is another thing that I just did Lane Bryant top. I don't even think I did sweater. Has an average sale price of $12.52 and a 10% sell-through rate. It did end up selling for me. If I had narrowed it down, found maybe the exact style name of that, I don't know if there's a style name for Lane Bryant stuff, but you know, maybe I would have some more specific numbers for you, or higher numbers. But it did sell for $17. I did list it at $25. Let's see, $17 on Poshmark. So again, I'm going to use priority shipping supplies. And let's see, I bought this in Michigan. I went up to see my grandma couple months ago and took my daughter, and we did some thrifting on the way there and on the way back, and I spent $2.15 for it. We hit a Salvation Army somewhere that had like all of their tops were 50% off or something like that. I think that's where this came from. But anyway, my profit is $11.45. So not exactly where I want to be. I try to hit $15 for all my items just to value my time. It takes time to list things and ship things and all the things you have to do to the things. All right, this is a little top. It is slinky. The brand is Chico's design, and it is new with tags. So, I mean, it's a $58 shirt. So let's see, I looked up Chico's slinky top. I hear a lot, well, there's one YouTuber in particular that talks about slinky being a keyword. I don't know. But I added it. So that gave me an average sale price of $21.97 and 26% sell-through rate, which is decent. I aim to hit 25% when I'm out shopping, but you know, of course that doesn't always happen. I sold this for $20 on Poshmark. Took 3 months to sell. I bought it in a city, a larger town close to me. I think I was probably thrifting with my mom and sister at that time. 3 months ago? Yeah, that was probably a thrift trip with my sister, I think. Anyway, my profit on it is, oh, I paid $4, which is too much for that. In my opinion, my cost of goods is really low, which I am very thankful for. It just, the area where I'm in, I don't come across a lot of like high value items, but my cost of goods stays pretty low. So $4 for me feels like a lot. I know that it's not. I know that that's probably low for some people. My profit's $12 on that. All right, this was a terrible decision. These are just a pair of jeans. The brand is, I think it's Mavi jeans, and these are the Zach straight leg. Well, they have an average sale price of $20.03, which seems okay. They only have a 12% sell-through rate, which is not great, and these are not perfect. So I ended up selling them for $10 plus shipping. So they paid a total of $23.60, which that's like $13.60 for shipping, which is a lot. I did make some money on this shipping. That's never my intention, but I do calculated shipping. And so eBay just kind of guesses how much it's gonna cost. I mean, they don't guess, like they have a calculator, right? It's calculated. So there's a calculator involved. But anyway, they just do an estimate. There, that's a better word. An estimate of how much it's going to cost from me to the buyer based on how much I said it weighs, based on how much I said the package size is. I know basically what the size of my packages are, and I weigh everything when I take pictures of it and put that into the listing. Most of the time it works out okay. Sometimes in this situation, I don't know why it was such a difference, because they paid $13.60. eBay does give me a shipping discount. That's one of the benefits you get from shipping through eBay, which I don't talk about a lot, but I think is important to know. Like, you do get a discount, which is great. It helps pay for things like poly mailers, and I wrap everything in tissue paper and put a sticker on it, a thank you sticker on it. But like this label, shipping label, only cost me $7.56. So that's a difference of like $6. I made $6 on the shipping. That's a lot. Usually it's like $1 or $2. So I don't know why it's like this. Anyway, they sold for $10 plus shipping. I said all that. I bought them again at the bins for $2 is my average. 3 months ago, my profit is $10.46. Again, because I made some money on that shipping. All right, this label on here is like in a weird spot. So I've got to cover it. All right. That's the thing about recycling poly mailers is you got to make sure there's no like barcodes and stuff on there. Sometimes I miss them. I'm gonna take a little sip of water. This is your reminder to hydrate. I was sick all of last week, and I feel like I'm still getting like dry and okay. This, I don't know. These are thermal pajamas from Victoria's Secret. They do say Victoria's Secret on there with little snowflakes. Victoria's Secret. So I have the pants and the shirt pajama set. So Victoria's Secret thermal pajama set. So thermal is like this, a waffle knit, you know, like long johns, right? The sell-through rate is terrible, 8%. Average sale price is $19.04. I've had these for 5 months. I did pay $2.90 for them, so I'm not really sure what I was thinking. At like a regular thrift store. I don't know. That was 5 months ago. Spring. Who knows? Anyway, maybe I didn't comp them. That is a very good possibility. Sometimes I'm terrible about comping things, and I want to be better at that. Yeah, they sold for $17.57 plus shipping on eBay. So they paid a total of $27.67. So my profit, when I calculate profit, it is how much the buyer paid to me. So they pay like taxes and stuff, but eBay takes care of that. That's part of the fees that we pay. We don't have to deal with taxes, which is great. I would prefer to not have to deal with taxes. I went on a tangent there and forgot what I was doing. So the amount that the buyer pays to me, which is the amount of the item plus the shipping, they don't pay the shipping to me on Poshmark, only the amount of the item. So it's the total amount that they've paid to me minus any fees for the platform, minus shipping costs on eBay, and if I do a shipping discount on Poshmark. I haven't done a shipping discount on Poshmark in months and months. And then minus my cost of goods. So that makes my profit $14.73. Might have to get another drink of water. All right. The next 3 items are sweaters. It is literally 90 degrees. This is really funny because I sold this and then literally listed another one almost exactly like it. It's not like a major bolo or anything either. This is a sweater from the brand Halogen, which is not a brand I would buy, but it's cashmere. It's 100% cashmere. Just like a long open. I don't even think this like style is super popular anymore, but cashmere is always. If I find cashmere where I'm just spending a couple of dollars, I'm buying it. So this came from the bins. Yeah, no matter the brand. I've sold like Apartment 9 cardigan sweaters for like $15 or $20, but if I'm only paying a couple dollars for it, absolutely. So Halogen cashmere cardigans have an average sale price of $24.49 with a 12% sell-through rate. I think the sweater sell-through rates are pretty low right now just because of the time of year. I think they will go up, but I mean, that Halogen, it's just not, I don't know. I don't even know what it's from. Is that like a department store brand? Is it a Kohl's brand? I feel like maybe it's a Kohl's brand. Anyway, sold for $19 on Poshmark. Happy to take that. My profit is $13.20 after, yeah, $2 in my average cost of goods at the bins. So another bins sweater, and this one is vintage, pretty cool. This one is like a chunky knit. It has a crew neck. This one is made in Hong Kong. They're better if they're made in the US. So here is where, you know, I did some differences in the sell-through rate. So I just looked up vintage sweater, men's vintage sweater. That gave me an average sell price of $35.73 and an 8% sell-through rate. Not great. But then I looked up vintage crew neck sweater, chunky, striped. That gave me an average sale price of $44.54 and a 29% sell-through rate. So that is much, much better. All right, I was thinking I wasn't gonna have to do much to this, but it's got like fuzzies all over it. So I'm gonna send it out nice. This is really nice, actually. Yeah, so anyway, there's a major difference there, right? So I list most of my sweaters, of course, you know, there's some nice name brands, and average sell price is just that. It's an average. So there are some that have sold for lots of money because it's like Coogee or a designer brand or something. And then there are plenty that have sold for like the $20 mark. I list most of my vintage sweaters, and this is just like a Sears brand. I list most of them at $30 unless there seems to be a reason to not. So something like it's a Fuji sweater or something like that, which I have sold one a while ago. It's very exciting. Yeah, so I list them at $30. That's what I was trying to say. This sold for $25 on eBay plus shipping, so they paid a total of $33.70. It took 7 months to sell. But this was, again, something that I found at the bins. So that's okay. I saved it from the landfill. And I made $20.56, which is great, I think, in my opinion. Do I want to tell you anything else about that? I don't think so. We're almost done. Thanks for hanging in. I have something else I think really important that I want to talk about at the end here. So, hang out. And actually, I kind of saved the best one for last, which is really mean of me. This is it's a wool blend ruffle sweater. It's Banana Republic. This does not have a good sell-through rate at all. If I add the ruffle, the average sale price is $10.49 with a 5% sell-through rate. So Banana Republic wool blend ruffle cardigan. If I take the ruffle out and it's just wool blend cardigan, the average sale price is $18.69 with a 10% sell-through rate. So really, I don't know. This is again where like style probably comes into play. This was not it. I did buy it at what I've always called my favorite thrift store, but is really not my favorite thrift store anymore. It's losing favor. Sounds terrible. My cost of goods is very low there. It was only 60 cents. So this took 10 months to sell, which obviously that totally makes sense. Let's see, they paid $15.92. So I had it listed way too high. Should have had it listed at $15 to begin with, but I probably started it at 25, knowing me. And I've been like, I relist items every day, delist and relist them, and I've been like lowering prices when I do that. So yeah, anyway, they paid a total of $22.62. My profit is $13.76, and I think I told you everything else. The birds are chirping. That makes me happy. Okay, last one, and this is a good one. So this is also Banana Republic. I didn't say that very well. Banana Republic. This is a dress. It's gonna be really hard to show you, but it's like a midi length dress. It's like a backless cutout. It's 100% linen. It has like a nice big kind of circle-y skirt. It's called the Lina, Lina. It's good. It has an average sale price of $67. No, sorry. $48.24. That's great. And then it has a 67% sell-through rate, which is insane. I almost didn't buy this thing. I was looking at it and I was like, it's a size 0. It's Banana Republic. I didn't know what the style was. I don't know. I didn't look it up because I didn't know, but I went ahead and bought it at that thrift store that's becoming my favorite thrift store. I paid a whole 75 cents for it. I had it listed at $50. It's a size 0. And I based it off of, I think there was another size 0 listed, and so I priced like at the same as that one. Does that make sense? If anything ever doesn't make sense, please feel free to ask questions in the comments. I'm happy to try to explain myself a little better. Anyway, I listed it at $49.96. They used my 15% off coupon. What was funny about this is last night, right as I was going to bed, I like checked my email one last time, and I had an email from Poshmark, and it said, yay, someone made an offer, and it was on this dress, and they offered me $40. And I was like, sweet, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and accept the offer and start a Monday off with a sale. And then I woke up this morning, and when I checked my email, this had sold on eBay. So I don't know if it's the same person. I'm not sure. But they did use my 15% off coupon plus paid shipping. So they paid a total of $54.07, and it sold in 20 days. My profit is $38.54. I am super pleased with that. So overall, my profit for the weekend was $20 and no, not $20, $200.92. If you average that out per day, it's only $50.23, which is almost $20 a day less than what I want to be making. And so I said, I think the thumbnail says like disappointing weekend, or disappointing weekend sale or something along those lines. I am disappointed. This is, for me, I did not feel like this was very good weekend sales. And I know that for some people, maybe you would feel the same way as me. But I also know that for some people, you might think, man, 11 sales in one weekend, that's amazing. I would love it if I could make 11 sales in one weekend. And that was the last thing I wanted to talk about is it's so easy to compare ourselves to other people. And I never want to make you feel bad. I want to encourage you in your journey on eBay and Poshmark, reselling, whatever. Because for me, it's been really helpful for my family. This is $67 a day is my goal. And that averages, or that makes it $2,000 a month, which has been made a huge difference for my family. I used to manage a coffee shop, and it was stressful. I just being gone from my family. I have 4 kids. If you are new here, I have 4 kids. I homeschool. It was stressful, and now it's less stressful. There's less stability in the money, but there's more stability in me being home. So it's been a really good trade-off. But I think it's so easy to compare ourselves to other people on YouTube, especially with social media. You know, there's Instagrammers that are sharing their sales, and it's so easy to compare ourselves. And I just want to encourage you that if you are looking at my sales and you're feeling really bummed, like that you're not making as much as me or selling as much as me, that's okay. All of our circumstances are different. And, you know, maybe you can only list 2 items a day because you're taking care of a sick parent, or maybe you have chronic illness and you can only list 3 items a day, or you can only, I don't know. There's so many different variables. We're all different. I do this part-time out of my garage. And, you know, there are some YouTubers actually that I've stopped watching because I'm like, how are you finding these things? Or how are you selling this much? Or, I think that there's people faking it out there. I don't ever want to like throw shade towards them, but, yeah, I just want to encourage you to keep it up, keep going. You can do this. If it's important to you, you can do it. So there's my encouragement for the day. I also want to do a check-in for the August listing challenge. I finished the weekend strong, even though I didn't do great with the shipping so much. The listing did great on. I am officially out of pictures. So I am today taking pictures out here and cleaning up this mess. Because I did also do some thrifting over the weekend. A little bit. That's the best part, right? Yeah, so I think that's it. Check in with the August challenge. If you are participating, let me know how you're doing. Cheer each other on in the comments. And I do want to say, I like to ask questions. So this is my question. I'm curious. How long have you been reselling? If you're a reseller, if you're not a reseller, I feel like this is gonna sound snarky, but I don't mean it snarky at all. It's just curiosity. Why do you watch reseller videos? Like what do you find interesting and fascinating about them? If that sounded snarky, I'm sorry, but I really am just curious, like what is interesting, what catches your attention when you're not a reseller? Because I know when I watch them, I like to, find out information about different brands and different, I don't know, whatever. What people are selling. So that's why I watch them as a reseller. But if you're not a reseller, I'm just curious why. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyway, I have blabbed on for long enough. Thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate being able to share my sales with you and chat with you a little bit. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. I do these ship with me videos every day at 8 p.m. Eastern, most of the time. And that's the plan anyway. Yeah, I'd love to have you join me. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.